welcome to Yoga Megan. Today we're going to be working on just a nice, easy yin practice, holding poses a little longer to help the muscles relax and release and rejuvenate. Grab your mat, grab a cushion, grab yourself, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay. Sitting on the mat, sitting nice and tall, on a cushion if you'd like, to keep the knees lower than the hip points so that you're taking the pressure off the low back. But as you do that, make sure that you don't hyperextend the low back, but you really suck in those lower abdominal muscles towards the spine to keep you nice and tall. Sit bones rooted to the floor, crown of the head reaching up, eyes closed, collarbones wide, deep breath in. Big full breaths here, breathing into the front, sides, and back of the body. If you like, taking a little pause at the top of the inhale and then letting everything just melt out on the exhale. Now we're going to do 3 inhales and exhaling out into a lion's breath. So in lion's breath, we're going to stick the tongue out on the exhale and you cross the eyes and let the air forcefully come from the lower abdominal out the mouth. So regular inhale through the nose, inhale as much as you possibly can, and then when you can't inhale anymore, exhale through the mouth, tongue out, eyes crossed, lion's breath, just like this. You can have nice tension in the fingers if you want to, or just let the hands be by the side. Deep breath in. Looks funny at first, but it actually helps cleanse the entire body, and it's great to get toxins out, stuck energy, and it's great for coming off of cold as this time in the season is. So 2 more. Nice strong exhale. Good clearing of the energy. All right, let's do some neck rolls, reverse at the back. Nice and easy, nice and gentle. Once or twice on each side, and then if you want to take a little pause at some little knotty parts, just stay there and let breath and gravity release the tension, unravel the knots. And then when you're ready, come back to center and we'll do some shoulder rolls back. And forward. And then let's go side bend to your right, my left. Over, armpit to the ceiling, shoulders squeeze back towards each other, sit bones down. Inhale up and switch sides. Shoulders back, sit bones down. And one more time each side. Switch. And back to center. Inhale the arms up. We're going to exhale and twist to your right, my left, and then take your left hand to the outside of your right knee and the right hand behind. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, twist and look behind you. Inhale, extend up to the ceiling, and exhale, see if you can twist and look a little further back each exhale. Inhale, lift, and twist. One more. And then slowly unravel back towards center. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, twist to the opposite side. Inhale, lift. And exhale, twist. Inhale, lift up the spine. And then exhale, see if you can look a little further back. One more. And look back. Slowly unravel, come back to center. Let's take the pillow, if you're sitting on a pillow or cushion, away. And let's do our hips, so circling around. Nice and easy. We'll do 5 circles to the right, and then reverse 5 circles to the left. And then inhaling our arms up and center. And then exhale, reach forward. And just walk your fingertips away from your body to wherever is comfortable, wherever your threshold is. And then just let the head and neck release. Breathe into the low back and into the hips. Try and release all tension in the jaw, neck, and shoulders. And then slowly walk your fingertips back in towards the body. And we're going to switch the legs. So take the opposite leg out front. Cross them the opposite way. Inhale the arms up. And reach out, 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 out. Fingertips to the floor. Walk them way as far as you can go. And then fold over and relax. And then slowly walk the hands back in towards the body. Coming onto the knees, onto all fours. We're going to come into child's pose, wide-legged child's pose. So toes together, knees wide apart. And for this one, we're going to take our elbows on the floor on either side of our head and our hands in prayer pose, like this. So forehead to the floor, hands in prayer. And then just use your elbows to press your tailbone back towards your heels. Draw the shoulders down the back and breathe. And then slowly coming up, take the knees together into a child's pose, but take your hands back towards your heels and take the forehead to the floor, drawing your tailbone again towards your heels. Breathing into the low back and releasing the hips and the low back. Let the shoulders relax and release. And then release and slowly come up. We're going to tuck the toes underneath so that spread the toes wide. Make sure they're nice and spread out. And then we're going to sit back onto the heels. Try and keep the heels as parallel as you can. This gets intense pretty fast. So hands in one palm inside the other, thumbs touching. Relax the shoulders down the back. Lift the collarbone. Just take a few breaths here. Stretching out the foot. And now leaning forward, tops the feet on the ground. Slap them out if you need to. And then come back to sit on the heels, but take the hands back and lift the knees. Belly button in, lift the chest. So the knees are lifted, the chest is lifted, and the belly is pulling back to the spine. You can stretch the ankles here. Nice, and then come back one more time each way. So tuck the toes, spread the toes wide, heels parallel, so that just don't let them spray out to the side, but keep them parallel. Tuck the tailbone and then sit on the heels and just breathe. It's intense. You can actually feel it go all the way up into your neck. And then switch, tops the feet on the ground, shake them out if you need to. And then slowly come back to sitting on the heels, drawing the knees up, chest up, belly in. Try and get those knees off the ground if you can. That's it, yep. And then slowly come back. Come back to all fours. Let's step the left leg back, lower the heel, and take the left arm up to the sky and over the ear. Open the arm towards the ceiling, circle the arm back behind you, and then take that left foot back and grab the ankle if you can. That's it. Press that left hip point forward and keep the knee, hip, and ankle in the same plane as you kick the foot away. Yep. And then release the hand up and the foot out and down to the floor, arm over the ear, and come back to all fours. I'm going to switch to the other side. So right foot out, right arm up. And then arm over the ear. Get that pinky toe into the floor, and then lift the arm back, circle it behind you, grab your ankle, hip forward, knee, hip, and foot the same plane as you kick the foot away. You're going to stretch in the shoulders, stretch in the hams or the quad, hip flexor. And then foot straight out, arm straight up, foot down, arm over the head, and then come back to all fours. Tucking the toes, press back to downward dog.
Reaching the tailbone up to the sky as you scoop the belly in. Widen the collarbones. Toes on the mat, heels off the mat. Nice wide foot, downward dog. And lift the hips up and back. Stretch the spine. And then now feet together, toes together, heels slightly apart, downward dog. Press back. Lengthen the spine. Keep those collarbones wide. And walk the feet into the hands. Grab your elbows and hang standing forward bend. Keep a micro bend in the knee so you don't hyperextend the knee joint. And now switch the grip on the elbows. Hands to the floor. Take the right leg straight back so it's parallel to the floor. Yep. Take it all the way up to the ceiling as much as you can for standing splits. Breathe here. Forehead towards the left toes, and then take that right foot all the way back to a long lunge and drop the right knee, pressing the hips forward. And then take your left foot and walk it over to the left side of the mat. And take your hands on the inside of the foot. If this is where your threshold is, that's totally fine. If you want to come down to the elbows, you can do that. Wherever you're at is totally fine, as long as you're getting the nice stretch in the hips and the hip flexor. Now coming on to your right forearm, turn that left foot to the pinky side of the foot, so just the pinky side of the foot is out, and then take your hand behind the knee, and then just rotate the thigh out and back as you lean back the opposite way. Keep that left foot flexed so that you don't injure the joints in any way. Just rotating that thigh away, creating space in that hip and hip flexor. And then slowly come back. Now, if you need to double over the mat here for your knee, do that. You're going to take your left hand, if you can, and reach back and grab that right foot. Yep. And then if this is where you're at, this is totally fine, just drawing that foot in. If you want to come down under the forearm, you can do that. Keep pressing the chest forward. And then slowly release the foot. Release the knee. Come back to a lunge. And then step that right foot forward, standing forward bend. Walk your feet to hip distance apart. This time you're going to grab the ankles and see if you can take the forearms behind the calves and draw the head towards the feet. Hands on the floor if you got a foot in front of your right foot. Take your left foot back into warrior 3 leg. And then draw your head towards your toe and the left foot to the ceiling. Head towards the right foot, left foot to the ceiling. And then reach back with that left foot. Come into a lunge, high lunge, and drop the knee to the floor. Press the hips forward. Walk your right foot out to the right side of the mat, hands on the inside of your right foot. And either stay here on the hands or come onto the forearms and breathe. And then either straight on your hand or on your forearm, take the right foot and turn it towards the pinky side of the foot, right hand behind the knee, and rotate and just reach it away. Reach back over to your left. You're leaning the opposite way. You're drawing the knee towards the right side of the mat, and you're leaning towards the left. Creating space in that right hip flexor and right hip. And slowly come back. And if you need to double over the mat here, you can for your knee. Taking your right hand back and grabbing your left foot if you can. Keep that right shoulder on the right knee. And either stay up with your hand on the floor, arms straight, or lower down to your forearm. Press that left hip flexor forward. And then release and slowly come up. Come on to all fours. And then come on to a seated position. Or into a seated position, I should say. So legs straight out in front. Find the fleshy part away from the sit bones. Take the right leg and cross it so that the knees are right on top of each other. If that's too much, you can always do a figure 4 and just leave the legs like this. If this is okay for you, start here. And then if you can't, if this is too much, stay here. If you want to go on, you can take this other foot back, but try not to sit on the foot. You still want the sit bones down, but both feet are on either side of the body, Gurmukha. If you need a towel here, you can grab one or just hold on to wherever your hands land on the back and walk them towards each other as much as you can. But you're going to take your right hand behind yourself, tap your back, left hand, palm facing. So you're going to try and interlace the hands. There we are. That's it. Lifting the crown of the head high for the collarbones wide, sit bones down. We're going to take 5 breaths here. Keep leaning the head back into the arms just slightly to keep a nice straight spine. Nice.
And then slowly release. And straighten the legs back. You can lean back, put your hands on the floor, straighten the legs back, and switch. So the opposite leg is now crossing at the knee. And then take that foot behind you or whatever variation you're working with. And whichever leg is on top, pat that arm back. And then reach the other one behind you. Oh my goodness. There we go. And lean back. And then slowly release. And release the legs. Inhale, feet together, hands, elbows at the knees. Inhale, lift, cobbler's pose, and then just reach the chest out as far as you can go, and then just release over. And slowly come up. And come to a nice seated position. Crown of the head rising to the ceiling. Collarbones wide, tailbone long, belly button reaching to the spine. We're just going to do some ujjayi breaths. So ujjayi is the sound of Darth Vader or the ocean. You're basically constricting the back of the throat and breathing through it. Inhaling half as long as you exhale. So exhaling twice as long as you inhale. Just going to do 10 breaths, then sit quietly for a few moments, and then we'll be done. So deep breath in, and 10 ujjayi breaths. Getting taller as you breathe. When you're done with your 10 Ujjayi breaths, just sit quietly for a few moments. We'll do one Om together and Om Shanti. Deep breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thanks for practicing with me today.